Okay, hello Arcs and Arquettes, tube dwellers alike. Already busy, I see. That's always fantastic. Alright, let me turn on Mabinogi Duel, and we will get this show on the road. I see people are already calling each other out. Nice, nice. Just give us a second to actually settle in, yeah? Yes, hello everybody. Hello. And yes, as Neon said, another good video by Pegasus, although I see one of them was Illurin. Pegasus. But I like the jellyfish one. Hello Andrew. Hello Will. Hello everybody that's already started talking before I jumped on properly. Oh man. Okay. Mabinogi taking a while to load up. Yes. Hi Roller. We know Infamous too. Hey, hello Deadpool. Hello, Kelpesh. Let's click that off. There we go. That's better. He played the forbidden fruit. Yes, he did. Hello, Zohai. If you are mimicking what you're doing. Uh-huh. Moth, why are you looking so sad? Hello, Galumir. Welcome to the stream on Twitch. I see. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so I already have a friend request. We'll deal with that in a minute. Hello, Neon. Hello, Vicon. Why can't you see someone else's comments and Calagon? I don't know. You should be able to see everybody's comments on the screen as well as on wherever your chat is. Hello, RGBS. Hello, hello. All right, we'll jump into the lab and we will just go over a couple of new things that have been discovered about the stuff. It's that emoji, you never mean it to look that sad. Okay, every single time. You need to sign in on your laptop so you can play and watch, Dylan. Okay, sounds like a good plan. Oh, they just turned in view results. I should be like way down at the bottom. I think I only did one fight with today. Oh, okay, so I did one fight and I ended up in 35th position. One loss because my internet died. No, I'm going to try. Ankalon, yes, everybody's here. We have currently a little over... We have like at least 19 people talking. You just wanted to drop and say hi because you got to go. Oh, okay, RGBS. I was wondering why you weren't immediately harassing me for my age. What secrets, Ash? You will find out. Stay tuned. Right, let's go in here and change registered deck. Alright, so how many people have actually been running around in the lab? Who's actually been trying these new cards out? Let me know. And if you have been, let me know what your favorite card is. And don't say Ill Aggressor, because it's everybody's favorite card. Gotta be original. Okay. There's nothing new on the first page, so this all starts on the second. 25 or greater than RGBS. Okay, so you've decided that my minimum possible age is 25. Alright. Now you just need to decide what my maximum possible age is and work around that. Now, Hoali, thank you very much for the gems. I appreciate it. That's going to go towards cards, which go towards videos. Pojechini, hello and welcome to the stream. 18 viewing, yet no one commented, Ankelon. There's a lot of comments going on. You may need to refresh your browser window. Because as you can see from right here, there's a lot of talking. Maki-senpai, Magician, best card. Which one? There's a lot of them. Dark Hunter needs to be changed, though. Which one are you talking about? The Hunter Rigette, I assume. Deals 5 damage when the summoned to the hand upon... Yeah. Yeah, well, it's too weak for its cost, that's for sure. Death to Illyrian, yes. You were rank 5 in lab, were you, Galpesh? Good-o. Most of the cards in lab are reprint, Gallimir. Yeah, there's only 10 truly unique cards. The rest of them are either reworks or reprints or slight adjustments in the case of the 3 new swords. Dylan, welcome back on your laptop. Okay, so, yeah, the Dark Hunter Rigette. We need an Italian player in the chat to tell me how to pronounce some of these names. Ankalon, listen to me. People are talking. It's just your connection. Do you have your volume off? Refresh your browser. Can you test your vampire deck against someone, Dylan? Absolutely. We're going to be having some subscriber battles, but first we're just going to be talking about the new stuff that's been discovered, about 1 or 2 cards in the new release, as well as just hearing from people about their experiences testing them out, if they've discovered any interesting combos, tips, or tricks with them. Yeah, Rigette. Is it? Just Rigette? That doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound Italian enough. Zohib is absolutely desperate to fight Neon. Just gotta wait for the sub-battles. Okay, well, let's see. I think my thing's kind of paused a little bit. Let me just... There we go. Okay, now it's working again. You love the new Hunters, do you, Dylan? That's quite interesting because most people are feeling a little bit about them. The yo-yo mechanic doesn't really seem to be too popular at the moment. Gonna go restart the router, Ankalon. Okay, hope it helps. Alright, so yeah. Okay, so the... one of these secrets, and it's not really a secret, it's just if you haven't played this card before, you may not realize because the description is actually written badly, is if feel like there would be an I at the end, not an E, if it was pronounced Rigetti? 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 Could be Rigetti. It's Tagliatelle, so Rigetti? Sounds about right. Maki, do you think there's any hope left for this game? I think so, yeah. The last release for the collaboration cards seems to indicate that DevCat realizes that it's gotten a little bit too kind of money grubbing. So they seem to be trying to pull away from that, which is nice. Hunter is one of the flagship classes of the edition. Yeah, the Hunter seems to be the new mechanic that they were talking about in their developer diary. Arrives, deals damage, if kills, returns to hand mechanic. So far, it's not really winning me over, but there are at least 2 more CGC releases to happen for the labs, so you never know. They might bring in more cards rather that make the other Hunter cards, the other Yo-Yo cards more viable. Like Magic Beast or FOD, yeah. You think it's pronounced like baguette, like riget? Could be. We really need an Italian. Anyway, Master Seducer Casanova. Okay, so when summoned, paralyzes the opponent creature in the center slot and takes it hostage for 2 turns. Description's incorrect. It should read, when summoned, paralyzes the opponent creature in the center slot for 2 turns and takes it hostage. The capture mechanic, the capture effect is permanent. It's not a 2-turn effect. It is actually a permanent capture that keeps the attack value and the HP and everything else. So it's actually better than it looked when we first looked at it back on Thursday's live stream. You're good now, are you, Ankelon? Excellent. Good. So I'm still not convinced this guy is super viable for a 6-cost card at level 1, a lousy attack value and a terrible HP value, just to capture a creature that's in the center slot. I don't really see that being super viable. Nevertheless, it does open up a lot of possibilities. The new Gates of Hell artwork is pretty cool. Hunter Piole is really kinky level 3. Okay, fair enough. Hey Luke, welcome to the stream. An ideal combo for Sophocles, Ankelon. What, Master Seducer Casanova? I don't really see any combo with Casanova and Sophocles, honestly. Uper Sawal, thank you so much for subscribing. So it captured the middle slot permanently, but it just paralyzes it for 2 turns. Yes, so it will capture the creature that's in the center slot and leave its attack and HP and everything else value alone. The creature that it captures will be paralyzed for 2 turns, but it will be captured permanently. So that actually makes it good. It means that you can capture some like solid big cards. Casanova's too weak, yeah. That's the problem, really. Casanova can be removed by any 2-cost removal spell. And his attack value is utterly atrocious. It goes 3, 4, and 4. It doesn't even advance between 2 and 3. So Casanova, High Roller, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. So Casanova himself applies no actual battlefield pressure. A 4 attack value at level 3, that's pointless. That would take forever to land a finishing blow. So Casanova himself applies no pressure. Nevertheless, he is an extremely powerful counter to the other CGC cards. If Illaggressor becomes a meta constant, for example, as she might, Casanova is the perfect counter to Illaggressor. He'll capture her onto the side of the field, and then, fantastic. Casanova is mana capture, yeah, except it only works on center slot, and that's where it falls down. If it wasn't center slot, if it was, will paralyze and capture whoever he's played in front of, then Casanova would be incredible. A mana capture variant of Illurin kind of thing, So, woof, that would be insanely powerful. But, unfortunately, since it's the center slot only, not even middle slot, just center slot, very, very circumstantial, and it prevents it from becoming a meta constant, because if Casanova started to become meta constant, everybody would just start playing their big creatures off center, and then Casanova's pointless. Without making zero attack, that's the trade-off. The trade-off, yeah, kind of, but the center slot thing makes it incredibly situational. You like the fact they're making a lot of flying swords? Yep, that's cool. That is cool. Capture Beast Jane, yes, she's not like constant in the meta at the moment though, and her rework is like, hey Ark, it says Ankelon, hey Ankelon. Haven't seen who in line Uber. If you're talking to me, I pop into the official, well, not the official, but the big line group every now and again, but most of the time nobody's talking about Mabinogi duels, so I just stay out of it. Even capturing a random slot would be better. Yeah, possibly. Well, no, actually, no. Yeah, that would be better, because you can manipulate the opponent's slots, yes. So, yeah, that would actually be better. And Enamada, welcome to the stream. Then Casanova plus Resummon. Why? I don't really see the combo there. Explain that to me. Judging from the potential reworks in Lab, they're trying to obliterate Hyena King. They're trying to make Hyena King way more theme-based. I think they're trying to actually encourage people to make Hyena decks for some reason, because Hyena sucks. But, okay. Jane's rework is a rewording of her beast ability. She hasn't actually been changed, but they just rewrote her ability, which is weird because it didn't need rewriting. It was perfectly clear. We're not in that line group anymore. Hope card appraiser exchange rewards are good. It's I don't think so. I think it's literally just one card for a special ticket. Too much drama going on. Yeah, it's like a month ago. Still, the big line group is kind of dominated by two people who are not my favorite people in the world, I must admit. And the conversation just veers off Mabinogi Duel too much. So yeah, you won't see most veterans actually hanging out in there these days. Increasing its cost by one's already hard enough. Yeah, it's weird. Instead of rephrasing cards that really needed Deadpool, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cards that really do need a description rework. Absolutely. Unsummon would be better just to bounce and reuse Casanova. Yeah, I can't imagine anybody playing another card in the center slot is a thing. I'm trying not to preach, Deadpool. I'm trying not to preach. Not a hard enough. I want to change the concept behind the card. Yeah, they had no real idea what they wanted to do with Hyena King to begin with, and then they tried to make it into a theme, and that didn't really work because it wasn't dedicated to the theme enough. And then they tried to make it an alternative to Elf, and that didn't work because everyone just started using that instead of Elf because heavy offering is a thing. So then they decided to really double down on making Hyena King into a theme card. They're just going crazy. Casanova is useless once he's been used once because they're only going to put one creature in the center. They won't fold it twice in one match. Yeah, basically. He's an incredibly situational card. Secretus plus Alron. Okay, that's quite interesting. Let me take a look at Secretus. I don't see the combo immediately, but let me see. Summon creature has an ability to disable it. Transforms into Cruel Secretus. Oh, I see, yes. So he will... Yes, okay, so they have actually rewritten this. Returns to Arcadean Secretus at the cost of another friendly creature at the beginning of a turn. They've actually changed Secretus. Unless I am completely misremembering it. But as far as I remember, it was he would remain Cruel Secretus while he had creatures to sacrifice. Now, he will return to Archpriest Secretus if he sacrifices another friendly creature. If he doesn't, he'll just stay as Cruel Secretus. So that actually makes him quite interesting. DevCat should really pay for an actual English-speaking human translator instead of just using Google Translate. Yeah, they do use people, but they're using, as far as I'm aware, Korean people who are not native English speakers, which is fine, but some of these descriptions are really, really specific. They require sort of a native level of English. So yeah, they should ideally run it through something else. What are you saying? It's constantly 6 to 9 people talking, although I have to admit it's not a Mabinogi group anymore, Mahu. Yeah, that's why I stay out of it. It's just a social group, yeah, and I don't want to. You missed the start, Monsieur. Yes, we were just talking about Casanova's description is mistranslated. The capture effect off Casanova is actually permanent. You're saying you faced a Bunny plus Alron combo in PvP recently. Weird. Okay. Arcadean taking off the shade. Yeah, I know, I should actually have them. You don't really use Line or even Facebook anymore, Enamata. Discord's your main form of communication now. Yeah. For anybody who's interested, there is an actual specific Arcanauts Discord chat server, so if you want the link to that, just let me know. You're curious who are the two people who dominate line. I'm not saying. I've already said too much. I was right about Illurin, but you think she is still... You think Essie is still necessary, was necessary with her abusive effect, because all those cards with abusive effects as well. However, you have the nerfing she's going to get. Are you riding on a phone, Galliamir? Because that seems a little convoluted. Shader. Okay, is this going to be a thing now? Am I going to have to do the... Is that going to be my thing from now on? Anyway, so Secretus has actually had a change, which I hadn't noticed. So that's pretty cool. That actually opens up a few combos there. So you can continually make him do his ability nerfing effect, or you can keep him as Secretus for his Cruel Secretus for his Vanish effect. And you can more or less manipulate that almost at will. And every time he transforms, he gets his HP back. So that's actually kind of... So screenshot and post it everywhere. Is Casanova's ability a real mistranslation or a bug? It's a mistranslation, Luke. And also on the subject of Casanova's capture ability being permanent, the next SIH card that's coming out after Sophocles, Euripides, she has exactly the same effect as Casanova. So her capture effect will also be permanent, which is pretty awesome. The reason you use line chat is because you don't take this game seriously anymore, so you just chill with people there, and there's some pretty chill guys there. Maho, yeah, by all means, look, if you enjoy it, absolutely. I'm not saying don't go into line or so. I'm just saying why I don't go into it. I'm going to be a meme, gif it. You hate the nerfing, Galliamir. Yeah, I can see a lot. I mean, a lot of people do, but most people like the nerf. The vast majority of people like the nerf. And the problem with Illurin is she was way too powerful. She absolutely dominated the meta, and nothing has a chance to grow while Illurin has her current thing. Arcadean. An Arcmeme, what'd that be? An Archeme. Your keyboard's bad. Yeah, I sympathize. I sympathize. Also, who was saying... Oh, yeah, the Gates of Hell artwork. Somebody was saying was nice. It sucks that you can't enlarge it unless it's a related card, but let me see. Yeah, it does look good, actually. The Holy Spear artwork looks pretty cool as well. Lightning flashing. Anyway, that's why you didn't bother buying Illurin, Luke. Yeah. I mean, most people saw the Illurin nerf coming a mile away. So if you didn't have Illurin before then, everyone just kind of... Most people just sort of went, well, I'm not picking her up. She's going to get nerfed in the center thing. Why does Casanova sound like the name of a food? You mean casserole? Doesn't sound like the name of a food. It's Casanova, man. Come on. How about New 13? Will she get a nerf? Ooper, not in the way that you mean. No. New 13 is not going to get nerfed. What they've done is they've added other flying swords and other sword-type creatures to number 13's arsenal with this lab update. So now she's not guaranteed to summon the flying sword. Now she could summon the flying sword, but she could also summon the rusty sword. What's the other one? The Kadir's flying sword, probably the vengeful knife, and the spirit of the sword. Now the spirit of the sword is what kind of sort of makes her into a bit of a nerf. As well as Kadir's flying sword and the rusty flying sword not having great attack values. So number 13 herself is not going to be nerfed, but her swords that she now summons are not going to necessarily be great. Ankelon, yeah, they're not going to nerf her, don't worry. Do you say number 13 will? Because no, the new swords are actually kind of a nerf to new 13, because the new swords are not as good as the flying sword. So you have a chance of summoning the flying sword, which is the best one you can summon, but you also have a chance of summoning these other swords, some of which are not great. The rusty flying sword, for example, has a decent defensive value, it's okay, but it's got terrible attack value. Kadir's flying sword is not great, as you can see, 5 effective HP, so it can be removed by 1 cost spells, but it only has 2 attack value. The Vengeful Blade, exactly the same sort of thing. The Spirit of the Sword, really high attack value, interesting effect, but it can be turned against you. So that's the nerf. But number 13 herself is not going to get a nerf. Casanova means new house. You're aware of the actual reference, okay. Which ultimately is nerf, yeah. You think Miss Zero is talking about cassava cake? I have no idea what that is. Doesn't mean she's going to get a super hard nerf. Yeah, she's not going to be nerfed. The new swords are DevCat's way of toning down the number 13 usage. But the card herself is not going to be nerfed. She doesn't need it. She's not a high threat card, but she's not a high priority card. 2 creatures for a 4 resource cost is not that bad. No, it's not. But number 13's attack value isn't brilliant. So if she summons the Rusty Flying Sword, you've summoned 2 creatures, absolutely, but neither one of them is particularly a threat. Are the arena rewards coming back with a new patch of icon? No. Sorry. No. You think she'll still be useful, though? Not as much as before? Yes, that's basically what they're aiming for. They want number 13 to be useful, just not the go-to card. The problem with it really is that number 13 is not overpowered, but she is the only mid-range mana creature that is not a mutant. That's the problem. If there were other mid-range non-mutant mana creatures for people to use, people would be using those. It's the reason why Bluesy Floozy was so popular. Because she was a mid-range mana creature. She's not that good on her own in terms of sort of high-level platinum PvP play, but everybody loved her because she was a mid-range mana creature. We need more mid-range mana creatures, and then number 13 will start to drop off a little bit. When you hear Casanova, you think of foods like tiramisu. Okay. Maybe it's because Yu-Gi-Oh! Made a dessert-themed deck. Okay. That's pretty cool. Ma dolce. You mean the artwork is too girly? Okay, here we go. I was right when I said Alluring Effect was too powerful, but she was necessary that way in order to counter other creatures with abusive effects or combos as well. However, hate the nerfing she's going to get. Yeah, she's too powerful at the moment. I get what they're going for, but she's too powerful at the moment. Blue Knight, you bring that up every time, Moth. Blue Knight is terrible. Stop bringing it up. Mana Lux, good creatures, and Light as well. Yeah, Light does at least have the advantage of having solid finishers. Light has some of the best finisher cards in the game. Unfortunately, they're mostly collaboration cards, which is a big problem. But at least it has that. Mana has a real problem with not having any good non-mutant creatures. It has some of the best mutant creatures in Mana Vampire and Mana Hellhound and so on and so forth. But in terms of just pure mana creatures for the mid and late game, nothing. Just nothing. They do have decent creatures for the early game, which is at least a relief. Scholar for the win. All good light creatures are collabs or mutants, Lukaku. Yeah. Basically what I just said. Yeah. I agree. But at least they have non-mutant finishers, light. Mana has the most weird and random cards. Yeah, Mana's supposed to be the tricksy one, but the problem the DevCat's having with that is how to make a tricksy mid-range creature, and they're having trouble with it. Light has 39-year-old mage, after all. Oh, I remember when he was the best one. Is Apocalypse Zombie useless or not? Apocalypse Zombie is good in a Parnock Apocalypse Zombie Gates of Hell deck, but otherwise pretty pointless. Nerva is good, but it's not a mid-range card, Moth, because it's too expensive. It's an end range card. And yes, it's good, but again, it's not a finisher. It's a support card. It's not a mid-range sort of a creature. It's a mid-range utility almost. It's sort of it's an end-range utility. Sorry, not a mid-range utility. Mana only has spells. They like creature and transformation creatures. Yeah. You got Nerva period. Mana is supposed to have an emphasis on spells anyways, which I don't mind like. Mana for me was always supposed to have an emphasis on trickiness. It was always supposed to be the one that had the weird little tricks, the creatures that didn't have great offensive stats but had really interesting abilities, stuff like Jellyfish and Homing Pigeon and things like this. But there's no mid-range mana creature that's decent, period. Not even, just in terms of, it doesn't have great stats. There's just no good mana mid-range. Is Bluesy still worth her price? Depends on what price you're seeing. It fluctuates quite wildly right now. She's dropped to, what, like 500,000 is the maximum for Bluesy at the moment? Hey Game Boy, welcome to the stream. Bluesy's still annoying to deal with. I hear that a lot. I have never, ever had trouble with Bluesy, and I run aggro decks, tempo decks, control decks, gimmick decks, all kinds of stuff for like the videos that I make. I have never had a problem with Bluesy. So it's quite interesting to hear that people do. You're ready for battles, Kelpesh? Excellent, excellent. Mage Jax must have been really good in G1. Yeah, Jax was great. Mana's your favorite, Zig? Mana's my favorite. I have to admit, I like the the idea of Mana, shall we say, is my favorite. Yeah. Yeah, Jax was a good card in G1. Not the best card necessarily, but you could do a lot of damage with it. Mana should have summoning mid-range spell. That'd be cool. Jax was that creature way back then. Yeah, good old Jax times. You bought a new white now for 7,000. Nice, good one, good one. Like the Dr. Boom, very iconic. Yeah, it was very cool. Did I watch a new Yu-Gi-Oh movie? No, Zig. I actually didn't know there was one. Thanks for pointing that out. Jax was instant win back then. He wasn't instant win, but he was problematic. Yeah. You're in as well. Good, good. What other games do I play, Game Boy? I play a lot of games. If you'd like to talk to me about other games and even play some with me or watch me playing some in Ghost Streams and stuff, join the Discord channel for the Arcanauts. I will just put a link down here now. Mana was your favorite in Gen 1, Mist. Yeah. Are you late, Tishna? Not too late. Not too late. You loved Jax back then? Yeah, I like Jax. Jax was awesome. Mana for the win. You like Weird and Control? Same here, Neon. Same. You know what? Bringing a Jax deck to the stream. That's what I like to see, Luke. Bring a Jax deck. Yes, absolutely. Love that guy. Try Gwent. It's a better card game. I am signed up with 3 different accounts to try to get into the Gwent beta. I still haven't gotten it. If anybody has a spare beta key for Gwent and they would like to be really nice to me, do send it my way. It's called Dark-Sided Dimensions, Zick. Okay, I'll take a look for it. Thanks. What's the theme for the duels today? There's no theme necessarily. Just have fun. But that's always kind of the theme. Luke's going to bring a Jax deck, which is a lot of fun. I would like, if people have any Sophocles decks, if people could bring those along, because I do like that card, and I would like to showcase a bit more. It's not a rule, just if you happen to have a Sophocles deck, think about bringing it in. Mana is for manipulation and shrewdness and Caligon. Yeah, it should be. It should be. It's not used as much in that way as it should be, though. They don't live the cards properly. You found a Jax +1 3 seasons too late. You have mana deck duels today. That'd be cool. Yeah. If anybody wants to do mana deck duels, comment there and challenge other people. Kind of wish they bring a new Jax card like they did with the Barbarians. Yeah, an Archmage Jax. That would be interesting. What drains health from everybody on the battlefield, maybe, like a combination of Jax and Genoa. Just to bring good old Jax back. There was a giveaway on some website. They gave away 10,000 keys. I don't know if it's still available. Well, if you remember where the website was, send me a link. Because I've been following it, but... You have a Dark-type deck, Game Boy. Cool. You have one. Excellent. Okay, so Zik and Neon. Nice. You haven't got the SIH card yet? Only 7 reversals of time. Ouch. What is Jax, Durong? Jax is, you know what? I'll just open him up. You're trying to find one. Okay, you're trying to find it. Okay. Do let me know if you do. Okay, come on. I have got to have a Jax. That's stupid. I know I have a Jax unless I gave it away, which I may have done. Wow, I give away too much stuff. Okay, Jax basically drains health from your opponent's creatures, and then the amount of health he's drained from your opponent's creatures is dealt as direct damage to the enemy hero. It's a lot of fun. Jax is the law. One of the most effective regular builders. Yeah, he's nice. He's a fun card. He used to be powerful, and now he's just not used. It's too difficult to keep him alive. Yeah, Jax was the very reason why you wanted more lore in Mabinogi Duel in the first place. I would love to see more lore. I would love to see it. You like not overpowered abilities, rather strong. Game Boy, here's a follow. Thank you so much, Game Boy. I appreciate that. And pretty straightforward, yep. Shall we start the sub-battles? Have to sleep early later. Yes. What emulator am I using, Ooper? I am not actually using an emulator. As you can see, I am using my phone. So I'm using software on the phone called Screen Stream Mirror. It's an Android thing. I'm streaming it to my PC and feeding it through OBS Studio. And I'm using a 3.5mm audio jack that feeds directly into my computer to capture the audio. So, shall we start the sub-battle? Yes, we might as well. Okay. So, nobody's really too interested in the CGC cards. Apparently nobody's really been testing them. That's not a good sign for DevCat. That's a bit unfortunate for them, but, oh well, so it goes. Gates of Hell and the Witch Stephanie. No, thank you. I already have them. Major Jax looks like Jace Bellerin of Magic the Gathering. Yeah, it kind of does, actually, yeah. You have the SIH card, but you know you'll never be able to bring out his power. Any Titan of Snow lovers here? It goes well with Jin, certainly. There's literally no emulator that can probably handle MD. We're trying out Noxat player. The MD didn't work. Yeah, if you want to make an emulator work, you basically have to actually be able to edit the emulator itself. Somebody managed to get it working, but they had to actually get into the nuts and bolts of the emulator and like just hack it practically. And even then it wasn't a universal fix. It's not well optimized, unfortunately, Mabinogi Duel. Any tips on how to build around Elvenkier? Got him yesterday, he seems pretty fun. He was strong in the meta for like 2 weeks, but then fell back out again. He's very meta-specific. He's useful for countering specific metas, but when those metas are not prevalent, or when it's not one of those metas that's currently active, unfortunately he's pretty useless. Mist wants to do a mono duel. If anyone's up for it. I found the link to become posted in chat. Looks like still keys available, Mahu. Ooh, okay. Well, if you can send it to me privately, either through the subreddit, Facebook, Twitter, the Discord channel, anything like that, I'd really appreciate it. You're using Leap Droid, Uber. Is that working out for you? I know some people have tried it and didn't really like it. Scholar Dante's rework is totally useless. I wasn't even aware that he had a rework. Has it been reworked? You have a spoopy Skeleton Knight deck. High roller, nice, thank you. Arcanus the Omnipotent. What? Did I miss something? What was I saying? Leap Droid is working fine for you. Nice, good, excellent. Dante's rework is pointless. Who would have more than one Gates of Hell in their deck? Elvenkier's meta situational, so is Prowls. Yep. Okay, so Will and Moth actually have a duel lined up, apparently. So if you guys want to challenge each other now, I will open up this and take a look. A gift from Zik. Thank you very much, Zik. Those golds is gonna go towards buying some cards. And I will accept that Wisalathi friend request after we've watched this fight. Version 1.8.0.0. Okay, so if anybody wants to try Leap Droid out, version 1.8.0.0, give it a go. It works for Uber, might work for you. Not reworked, but they fixed his effect, that his effect is affecting more than one Gates of Hell right now. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I've only ever seen Dante used once, and I destroyed it, so. Stream lagged, so I can see my response. How do I send a link to the... okay, Mahu. If you send it privately to me, either via Facebook, Twitter, the subreddit, Discord channel, YouTube, any of these I can get to. Or online. Send it, just message it to me via line. Okay, so Haib and Neonworks is going to fight. Yes, I think what Moth and 09 wants to duel me. Sorry, Zero, not today. Doing the streams. Okay, so all right, and Andrew versus Yellow. Okay, so we'll have Moth versus Will, then Zohaib versus Neon, then Yellow Dragon versus Andrew. Zero, I am not gonna fight you. So mono mana bros. Who wants to be a mono mana bro? And I'll just keep refreshing this until that happens. You want to? Zig, you want to do a mono mana? Okay, and Kalpesh is ready as well. Kalpesh, are you ready for a normal fight, or do you want to do a mono mana fight? No, cries Andrew. Okay. Apparently you inspire fear in him, Yellow Dragon. I'm not prepared. No. Everyone's just shouting, no! Khan! You hate mono decks. Okay, you want to have a normal fight. Alright. Alright, here we go. Sloth versus Will.
Magicians and summoners.
You have two duels to make one up. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, hey. Okay. Yep. There we go. We're in. Alrighty. So at the bottom is Sloth. At the top is Will. So 1 mutant on Will's side, 2 mutants on Sloth's side. Mana Nature Dark and Gold Light and Dark. Will using the L hero and Sloth using Tina. Okay, so Light Elf comes out, is blocked by Elf. Excellent, excellent. Let's duel in Overwatch. Yeah. Let's have an Overwatch stream right after this one. Okay, Sloth summons out the Gravekeeper. Alright, interesting card, always good to see. One of Gold's few worthwhile one-cost drops. Alright, so Gravekeeper blocked by number 13, who is, of course, going to summon a sword. And it has to be Flying Sword, because we haven't got all the new swords yet. And I don't think the Spirit of the Sword rework is active yet. So Turn to Frog comes out, deals with number 13. Interesting counter. Interesting, interesting. Andrew, you were just multitasking, were you? Okay. Alright, so Flying Sword drops its attack value and can't do its attack. Those two elves just keep walloping away at each other. The skeleton will kill the Goblin Gravekeeper, but that's okay because it means that Moth will get some darkness resources back. So both players are ready to level up to 2. So I assume that's what we're about to see. Yep, there goes Sloth. Elves just keep pounding away on each other. Those poor elves. And Will levels up to 2. And Caligon wants to see Alpaca versus Alpaca, and I would pay good money for that. Alright, so Sloth is not doing too well in terms of HP, but got a decent amount of resources. Will's got a fairly solid battlefield set up there, with 8 damage on the field, ready to come through into Sloth unless he blocks it off. Let Sloth blocks it off. Sloth blocks it off. Okay. So Sloth charges up and skips a turn. It goes into darkness. Probably would have been better if it had gone into gold to just balance out those resources a little bit better. And ooh, a Windblade Taeon comes out, murders the flying sword and parks itself in front of the skeleton. Interesting. Okay, so a hunt can take care of the Windblade Taeon. It'll be interesting to see. Okay, discards into blue. Charging up for a spell? Yes. Charging up for turn to frog. I think Will's finger slipped. Oh no. Oh no. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. What the hell happened? Tina actually has the perfect thing for that. Oh, Will, I feel your pain, buddy. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Mahu, it works out. What's my Facebook? I will actually, I'll link it in chat. Just remind me after this fight's over. Vampire comes out, drains off some of Taeon's health, and Notira's Needle comes out to take care of him and get a little bit more darkness resource back. Nice, very nice. Okay, so once again, Will's got more damage on the board, but out comes a surprise attack, takes it out. Nice trade of resources there, and Sloth actually pulls ahead in terms of resources, which is good. And gains some gold, which gains some HP back, managing to rebalance those things. Oh, and Magician Masked Field comes out. Okay, so Will is running a number 13 and Magician Masked Field deck. That's very, very unpleasant to have to deal with. That's very unpleasant. Okay. I said okay, and now my Nexus is over in the corner talking to me. Alright, let's see. What comes out? Oh, Sophocles comes out. Interesting. Interesting. And a level up to kill the Magician, and a level up to kill the Magician. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sophocles. So, Vertude revives, and that's an expensive revive, bringing back, what was that, 8 cards out of the grave, and actually dropping his resources, his health rather, lower than Sloth right now. Charges up into nature, and brings out, what, an elf? probably an elf. That's an elf. There we go. Brings out an elf into the center slot. Okay. So, Will has 11 damage on the board, and Moth has 7. The vampire comes out, drains the elf. Nice, nice, nice. Where's the white headset, Ooper? I can put it on if people want, and just it looks very bulky. And out comes the Goblin Gravekeeper. Okay, so Moth is building up towards more darkness resources. Okay, so both players spend a fair amount of resources. Will's doing slightly better now, especially in terms of mana. So when your girlfriend pulls a dark growth vine, oof. Yeah, that's rough. Hard to keep love alive. Ouch, and down goes the vampire. That was the command taunting that we predicted earlier. So that's 5 damage it will get through, but it's going to, I mean, the HP is still going to be very close. And Will's in a difficult position here. He can't really spend any more mana on removal spells, because then he's basically got nothing to answer whatever Moth brings out next. So, interesting, interesting. So let's see what he pulls out now. Either a charge or a mana card. And it's a Magic Sensing Bomb mana +1. Very interesting. Okay, so the +1 takes it to level 4, which means it's going to do 10 damage if Sloth brings out a spell. Okay, so Sloth charges up and gets some gold and gets some HP back. Always nice when that happens. Always nice. Okay, and charges up again, gains some dark, and brings out Dimensional Dragon Astaroth. Fantastic. Okay. Arc has clickbait thumbnails. I do for the live streams. It's virtually impossible to find any Mabinogi themed, like enough Mabinogi themed images. So I just say screw it. Sexy ladies. Awesome match, says Deadpool, and I agree. This is really, really nicely done. Okay, so the 5 damage comes out. Now, if Sloth can remove any of those creatures, he could get Fatal, but unfortunately he can't cast any spells. So, because the Magic Sensing Bomb would kill him. I mean, if he charged into gold twice, then he's outside of Magic Sensing Bomb kill range, but unfortunately he did charge into gold twice, but it was at the end of the battle. It was the end of the charging, not at the beginning. Why are these guys fighting, though? Because it's a sub-battle, and this is how we see a lot of different playstyles and a lot of different and interesting decks. Who has next on sub-battles? I'm pretty sure it's Neon is up next. Neon and Zohaib. Okay, so Virtue drops a card, charges up. Ooh, ouch, that's going to be painful. That is going to be game. Oh, unfortunate for Moth, but very well played on both players' sides. Very interesting decks. My Arc fun badge goes to Moth for that match, for his Sophocles and Dragon Astaroth. So yeah, excellent, good ones. Game Boy, does Blood Spray do anything? Yes, it does. It's actually not a bad removal card. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's not bad, and it can be used to proc things like Succubus abilities. Mahu, is it some kind of tournament? It's just sub battles. Basically, if you want to fight, you just put your name into the and your in-game name into the chat, and basically you get into a fight with anybody else who's put their name in there. I will assign people unless you guys want to specifically assign yourselves partners, and then I will commentate over the battle. So yeah, if you want to fight, by all means, just put your in-game name in the chat, and people will challenge you. You had a really good card coming out next move, Moth. Yeah, it's always the way it goes, though, isn't it? Very nicely done. Comeback, though. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so Neon and Zohaib is up next. Andrew wants Yellow Dragon and Pegasus to fight. That would be a lot of fun. George, you call last on battle. Okay. Kalpesh is also ready, so somebody can challenge Kalpesh. Alright, so Neon and Zohaib are up. Okay, oh yeah, link my Facebook. Hold on a second. Just keep refreshing that. Okay. There we go. You want to play a test deck, not get wrecked by... Yeah, I mean, it's Pegasus. You're probably going to get wrecked regardless. Alright, here we go. Zik wants to fight as well. Excellent. Deadpool says, really, really amazing match, bros, and I agree. That was really good. Oh, wow. Okay, so Zohaib is using... Woof. Pillion. Good grief. Okay, so interesting. Cell Soul. Alright, so he's using... This is going to be interesting. I'm predicting this is going to be a good one. Zohaib is using Pillion and Cell Soul to manually drop his own HP to get himself within his sort of 7 HP buff range. Interesting. Lucarcry, Minecraft getting buff. Yeah, as Moth says, it's going to cost 1 at each level. Beastkin Jurgen comes out and he's immediately cocoon trapped. Oh, nicely done. I love to see those cocoon traps come out. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Pillion versus Elysis, yeah. It's fitting. It's thematic, certainly. Okay, so that was a really, really nice counter there by Neon with the cocoon trap onto the Jurgen. That was extremely fortunate. Out comes the Goblin Shredder, the classic combo. Love that one. Absolutely fantastic. Coincidence? I think not. Game Boy, you haven't been using it right. Okay. Oh, wow, okay, so we're seeing a barred red hood come out. That's interesting. So increases energy and attack for all creatures by 1 to 2 every turn. You don't see that very much because it does buff your opponent's creatures as well. So, interesting. And that's game. Everyone's calling the game right now. Marika, okay. Interesting drop. Very, very easy to remove, though, and I don't see Neon allowing her to live. Oh wow, double Nirvana with a red hood next to them. Ouch. Oh, ooh. The duties of parenting call, do they, Dylan? Give our love to the little ones. Okay, so Nirvana gets yanked over because again HP is less, which is, oops. So that's actually going to be quite interesting. So, Zohaib resurrects, brings out the Ritual of Darkness once again, kills Nirvana, which is an interesting choice. And then lets Marika hit in. Okay, alright. And then Nirvana kills the Marika, because that's what Nirvana do. You thought Blood Spray used as a stat boost. No, it's not a stat boost, Game Boy. Blood Armor is kind of a stat boost. Ouch, okay, and then down goes Zohaib. That was pretty brutal. But I like the idea of using Pillion and Cell Soul to manually drop your own HP. Very interesting alternative to the mutant Pillion idea. And then on Neon Works side, double Nirvana and a barred red hood. Gotta love it. And of course, the cocoon trap, which you just don't see as much as you should. Very nicely done on both players' sides. Excellent game for both. Mist is willing to duel. If anyone wants a mono mana duel, he's ready. Otherwise, he's going to use his outdated Police Force deck. I like it. Okay, so Yellow Dragon and George want to fight. Someone please challenge Mist to a mono mana fight. Deadpool, why don't you challenge Mist to a mono mana fight? Okay, so yes, we said the Yellow Dragon was going to be Yellow Dragon and Andrew, but apparently that took Andrew completely by surprise. So it's going to be Yellow Dragon versus George instead. Moth is going to start putting together a mono mana deck. Mahu, did we add you to the brackets? There are no brackets. It's literally just put your name in the chat and you'll get paired up. There's no, we're not running anything official right now. We are working on a tournament though, so if you want to get involved in that, join the Arcanauts Discord channel, because we are discussing ban lists and brackets and rewards and all that kind of thing. No mono mana deck, lame excuse. It is a lame excuse, Deadpool. You should be ashamed of yourself. Kalpesh, Neon wants to fight. Okay, Yellow Dragon is up first though. Here we go. Yep, yeah, the cocoons are such traps. They are indeed. Remington, you already posted, yes. So basically just put it there. Basically, whoever wants to fight Remington, challenge. I think, let's say Kalpesh versus Remington, yeah? Okay, so, using the fancy Tina hero skin. 2 mutants on Shinami's side. Shinami is George, for those who don't know. And 1 mutant on Yellow Dragon's side. It is what? Tina versus Elbrak. Or is it L? That extra skin always confuses me. The glasses always throw me off. Okay, and Caligon's going to make a mono mana deck. Good, good, good. Okay, so the elephant comes out. All right, so classic, using the Arrow of Revenge along with the elephant's strike means that Yellow Dragon is now ready to level up to 2 immediately. Excellent, excellent. Okay. So both players slogging away at each other. Yellow Dragon slightly behind in terms of resources, but nothing too bad. Shinami slightly behind in terms of HP, but again, nothing too bad. Trap in the Castle comes out. Always love that. It's a very Japanese play. You'll find Trap in the Castle being very popular with Japanese players, especially at the moment, because it's a very good card. A very good card. Okay. Alright, so what's up next? Clutch arrows as well. Okay, so the trap takes out the elephant. Shinami charges up and gains a little bit of resources and then discards mana into the grave. Okay, so we're seeing counter spell, counter summon. Maybe. Freeze summon? Unlikely. Got to go. Okay, Tishna, thanks for stopping by the stream. I appreciate it. Oh, wow, Persona Crystal comes out. Interesting. And the Ill-Tempered Imp, who is actually an incubus. Wow, okay, so the Ill-Tempered Imp and Persona Crystal both C2 cards, I'm pretty sure. And so it's how Japanese people play MD memes. Yeah. Yeah. Japanese people are all like, whoo, and American people are all like, whoo. I'm pretty sure how that goes. Okay, so here comes the Succubus, transforms. Rare to see, because Succubuses are just hard to activate properly. Very cool. They need to buff Trap even more still. It's cost 1 each level, except 3 each cost 2 then. That would be pretty cool, but then we just see it all the time. It's still a really, really good card, regardless. Oh, Drag to Hell takes out the Succubus. That is unfortunate. We don't get to see her in action. Game Boy, are the Blaze Blue cards any good? Some of them are. Number 13 is currently very, very meta strong, so if you can get a hold of her, get a hold of her. Ill-Tempered Imp plus Crystal is actually a really good combo. Yeah, it's like, wow, it was very surprising. There's number 13, and Karl Shakar comes out onto the field. Good lord. Okay, I'll enlarge Karl Shakar for those of you who haven't seen her before. When attacked by a creature, turns the same amount of damage to the creature. When attacked by opponent's spell, deals the same amount of damage to your opponent's hero. So it's dangerous to try to remove her. Okay, so what are we going to see coming out from Shinami? We're going to see an Ice Golem +1. Are we going to see a Djinn? Show me that Djinn. There's that Djinn. Outstanding. Okay. Now, Shinami had discarded into mana earlier, and that may be a counter spell, but he's going to need at least like 1 more mana in there. Trap is the big brother of Trap in the Castle. Yeah, it's not a good card, unfortunately. You didn't mean to do that face. Yeah. Okay, so out the Flying Sword goes onto the Ice Golem. That is going to mean that the Ice Golem unfortunately dies. Well, it's going to die to the Notir's Needle. Anyway, apparently. Leaving Yellow Dragon with like 15 damage on the board there between Karl Shakar and the number 13. That is, ouch, very painful. Alright, so Sword does a little bit of damage, nothing too major. Karl Shakar and number 13 get their damage off. Djinn freezes the Sword, which is fine. Discards, plays Angel or Parry -1 to bring out the... Oh no! Countered by Blackstone's Crest. Ouch! Ouch! And Shinami's just all squee, and I do not blame him. That is brutal. That is brutal. That was a complete combo shutdown. Very unfortunate for Shinami, although he is having fun with it, and who wouldn't? Even being the victim of something like Blackstone's Crest, it's just so unusual, you gotta love it. Blackstone's Crest. Wow. Nice play. Nice play. Oh, snap, says Deadpool, and I agree. Alright, so death is scary because of something. It was too quick for me. And down goes Shinami to Karl Shakar. Very interesting. Excellent fight on both players' sides. Karl Shakar on Yellow Dragon's side. Djinn and the Ice Golem on Shinami's side. Excellent cards, excellent decks, and some really good plays on both players' parts. Mahu, are you next? Sure, why not? Let's do Mahu next. The techs are real, they absolutely are. Zohaib, you can play mono mana. Okay, so Zohaib and Mist Zero, you guys play mono mana decks against each other. But up next, because Mahu is new to this whole thing, let's do Mahu's fight next. I said Mahu versus Kalpesh, didn't I? So Neon and Kengi. No, Neon's already had a fight. Let's do somebody new at the moment. Besides, everybody's getting very confused. Okay, everybody, shut up. So glad you went to the receiving end of that deck, Andrew. Yeah, I think we're all kind of glad. And Moth has... I'm on it. Okay, so Mahu fight Kalpesh. Okay, Kalpesh, if you're all right with that, just let us know in the chat. After that, Neon and Kengi can fight unless anybody else wants to sort of ask if they can go in first. RSF Spade and Albaster, thank you so much for the gifts. I really appreciate it. It's a perfect you activated my trap card. Yeah. Lord Arcadean has spoken. Yes. Your God has made his commandments. Okay. Alright, so Kengi 08 and Mahu, who is Remington, you guys add each other and send the chat thing. So, yes, I know, Kelvin. I keep getting everybody confused. I do have Kengi added. I don't have Mahu added, I'm pretty sure. So, but it's fine. We'll just observe the Kengi side. Arcadian's getting power drunk. Yes, I am. It's all this arc juice. It's very potent today. Let's see. Kalpesh fights Mahu for a rite of passage for Arcanauts. It is indeed. You don't count as an Arcanaut unless you fought Kalpesh. Okay, here we go. Gravecrests are so much fun. No one expects them. Yeah, they don't. And they're surprisingly effective. Okay, wow. All right, so Remington going for the Brant Christmas skin, which is fantastic, and Kengi going for Fene. Okay, so 3 mutants on both players' sides, and each person is using a tricolor deck. Elf comes out, is immediately countered by Heavy Offering, and there's the Calamus. Okay, always nice to see somebody running Heavy Offering. It is one of my favorite cards. Another Elf comes out. Interesting. There's enough nature for a hunt. Will we see it, or is Kengi going to let it go through? Gonna let it go through. Okay, so that means Kengi's going to take 4 damage, because he's got to take 2 now and 2 again when he levels up. You have to face either Kalpesh or Pegasus. Pegasus is if you want to, like, rise the ranks. No offense, Kalpesh, but Pegasus is one of those top-tier fighters. Okay, so, ooh, Zombie Synthesis comes out. Interesting. And there's a Synthesized Zombie, 4 and 6. Drains up. Another Synthesized Zombie comes out onto the field. Drains up again. Alright, okay, so now Kengi's got 2 Synthesized Zombies out onto the field, 6 and 8 and 6 and 7. Not too shabby. What is Rem going to do? Holy Missile comes out, snags one of the Synthesized Zombies, but activates the Hidden Spider. Interesting. And number 13 comes out onto the field and is snagged by an Ambush Vine. Alright, so a lot of trap creatures in Kengi's deck right now. Interesting to see. So, the Flying Sword comes out, and Command Hunting deals with the number 13. Very effective. And, oh wow, interesting. Okay, so the Phantom of the Wolf will now allow the Ambush Spider to kill that Flying Sword, and suddenly what was a very strong position for Remington has been turned around quite drastically. However, that did cost Kengi a lot of resources, so he really committed to this. He's not too worried about area of effect spells because Rem doesn't have any resources for them, but that eagle is gonna sting. Down goes the poor old Phantom of the Wolf. The eagle is put in front of the Hidden Spider, so it will die to that, but at least it does block that extra 4 damage. Field once asked who the hell is Pegasus has been in the Master Field ever since. Yeah. And out comes the Hunt. Is the Hunt... Okay, I was wondering if it was going to be on the ambush, on the Spider, to let the Eagle's damage go through, but chosen not to. Mana Holy Missile comes out, takes care of that Eagle. That puts... 10 damage out onto the field. Okay, so Remington is now in a lot of trouble. Low on resources, low on HP. Can still turn it around, absolutely. It's still definitely possible to turn this back. But he's got to block or kill both of those creatures. If even one of them gets through, then Remington's not going to be able to do what he needs to do. Okay, so Mukro comes out, targeting down the hidden spider. Surprise attack comes out onto the ambush vine. There he goes. And the elf gets a little bit of damage off. Zero says arrow incoming. And that would be a good guess. Absolutely. Doesn't look like Kingi has one, though. Resurrection from the grave. Okay, pretty expensive resurrection. Interesting. Discards into nature, so we assume that's one of the ambush creatures again. Okay, so discarded 2 cards into the grave. That must be the two well, not the 2 ambush creatures, but that must be the ambush vine once again. Interesting, interesting. Let's see. Okay, so the hunt comes down, but because it was a spell, it does just reactivate the hidden spider, and that, unfortunately for Remington, is game. Nevertheless, very, very close by the end there. Very, very close. Kengi not being sportsmanlike and summoning creatures. But nevertheless, very interesting decks on both players' sides, and very well played by both players as well. Right down to the wire by the end there. Can be very fatal when arguing with your girlfriend. What are we talking about now? You need to get into that Discord. You might have screwed something. Can't join through invitation. Oh, interesting. Okay, I will put another invite down. They're supposed to be permanent. Let's see. But yes, very good game to both Remington and to Kalpesh. Excellent. Excellently played. Very well done. Kengi rubbing it in, yeah. Still needs testing, Mahu? Yeah, well, I mean, that's just the way that it goes, really, isn't it? All right, I have 3 friend requests. All right, but I will add everybody. I always add everybody who sends me a friend request during the live streams. I absolutely will, but the fights just keep on coming right now. So next up, who's up next? We've got apparently Zohib wants to fight Zero. We've got Neon wants to fight somebody. Let me know in the chat who's up. Neon, Zero just invited Neon for a fight. Okay, well, again, we can watch that. Absolutely. Thras, you just woke up? You just woke up? Lazy, Thras. Lazy. Hello, Void. Welcome to the stream. 907 gems. Is that you or me? That was me. Yeah, I do. Oh. Mahu wants to fight again? Okay, just... okay, yeah, and Moth's got his mono mana. Okay, so... Zero hasn't fought yet in the stream, so yes. Okay, so Zero versus whoever you want to fight. Challenge somebody, somebody accept. After that... Okay, Neon's accepted, good. After that fight, we will do a mono mana fight. So whoever is interested in doing the mono mana fight, I know that Miss Zero and Moth both have them ready to go. So whoever wants to do that, chat. I'm still waiting for the... Zik, you didn't fight once? Yeah. Do you want to do a mono mana fight? Miss 009. Zero, you're up next. And then we'll do the Mist Zero and whoever wants to fight him with the mono mana decks next. Got a very chill day. I think you should nap a bit because you very rarely get a chance for a nap. Oh, that's fine. I can't judge you for that. Moth, don't already start putting yourself down. Be confident. Believe in the heart of your cards. And Caligon's also got a mono mana deck ready. Excellent, excellent. Okay, the more mono mana decks, the better. Those are always fun. You're going to go handle some things, are you, Will? Okay, well, thanks for stopping by the stream. Hopefully you can make it back in time. All right, here comes Zero and Neon's fight. Excellent. Whew. Okay, so Ancalagon also wants mono mana. Moth's got a mono mana, and Mist has mono mana. Alright, so Neon up at the top and Zero down at the bottom. 1 mutant on Neon's side, 4 mutants on Zero's side. Both using Elysis, triple deck on Neon's side, and a double color deck on Zero's side. Should be very interesting. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so both players playing very defensively. Both just sort of circling each other, seeing what the other person's about to do. Albystone Golem comes out. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. Okay. Well, Zero is limited in the number of answers to that. Ooh, Symbol of Peace. Okay, so not bothering to go for removal, just going for the paralysis. Okay, this should be good. For those of you who don't know, Zero is one of the veteran players. She's like 10th dan at the moment, you know, maxed out on the mastery rank and stuff like that. So both players do know exactly what they're doing, so this should be a very interesting fight. Gold Rush Light +1. Alright, so what are we seeing here? Are we seeing like Doom Machine Dragon or something? That would be interesting. Deadpool showing favoritism. Tut tut tut. I'm in favor of whoever gives the best fight. I reference 09 as a she because their avatar in line is a girl. I call people whatever gender they seem to self-identify as, so I don't know what the actual gender is. It doesn't matter. Wow, Ultimate Summon Incarnation of Fire. That is interesting. All right. All right, so flooding the enemy's side of the field and now bombing a whole bunch of things, and then all kinds of stuff is coming out. This is getting absolutely crazy. Parnock activates. There's the double Parnocks. There's the... What the hell is that? Really? A gold giant hero? Okay, cool. I like it. Great answer. Thank you, Mom. Alright, those Parnocks are just going absolutely to town. Oh, this is unpleasant to watch. And down it goes. Parnock's death. If the avatar is female, it must be a chick, said Abraham Lincoln. And he would know, right? If people want to use female avatars, I will refer to them by the female gender. Random giant hero comes out. I know, how weird is that? Just have the random giant, gold giant hero +1. That is so bizarre. That is a brutal combo. That is a brutal you generally only see Parnocks these days with Gates of Hell and Apocalypse Zombie kind of thing. But hey, nice. Okay, interesting gimmick is this. No, yes, it is definitely a gimmick deck. We try not to use gimmick decks in these sub-battles, but nevertheless, sometimes it is interesting and enjoyable to see them, just so that you can get an idea for the kind of gimmicks that are available, if you want to use them yourself, or if you want to fight somebody else with them. Nevertheless, I should probably have specified, and I will from this point on, no gimmick decks in the sub-battles. The problem with gimmick decks is that they are impossible to counter unless you know the opponent is bringing a gimmick deck. You weren't paying attention to how it appeared, Vojechny. You'll have to look at the archive copy of this live stream. The Ultimate Incarnation of Fire is a really, really weird card, and it gets some really odd effects. You blinked and the match was over. Yeah. Triggered, says Yellow. How to trigger Arc, use a gimmick deck. Yeah. I don't like them. I see why people do. And that was a very interesting one by 09. A very interesting gimmick deck. I haven't actually seen that one before, and it was cool. But yes, for sub-battles, I should have specified, and I will now, don't use gimmick battles, don't use gimmick decks in the sub-battles. They're impossible to counter unless you warn your opponent that you're bringing a gimmick deck. Fight again for you, Neon. No gimmick deck, please. Yep. Okay, so... that's why Pegasus is your man going against the meta. Yeah, that's cool. And yes, mono mana now. So we have chapter 86. We have 3 people ready for... Can you use your unsummon card, Game Boy? Yeah, absolutely. We have 3 people ready for mono mana. Miss Zero is definitely going to fight, and 09, don't worry about it. I'm not getting on your case. That was a really, really interesting deck, a gimmick deck. Very, very cool. It was completely my fault. I should have said beforehand to everybody, no gimmick decks. But it's not I'm not getting on you for it. That was a good fight. So yes, Miss Zero, Ancalagon and Moth are both ready, but it was Miss Zero's idea. So Miss Zero should be the one to choose who gets the challenge. So Mist, you can either challenge Moth or Ancalagon to a fight, or you can get Moth and Ancalagon to fight each other with their mono decks. It's up to you. You let us know what you want to happen. Mahu, you want a regular fight? Yes, we'll go back to regular fights once these mono manas are done. You smell a mana, Black Cat. That was Deadpool. He's been eating a lot of fish. You're just scared of Mist. No. Well, he's a good fighter. A good duelist, I should say. Missed, you promised Zohaib first, did you? Okay, I did. I obviously I missed that in the chat. I wasn't aware that Zohaib was wanting to do a mono mana. Okay, so if you and Zohaib want to fight using mono mana decks, then you do that, and then the next fight will be Moth versus Ancalagon. Sorry, and then we'll see after that. Yellow's ready again. No Feos Enior deck. Pegasus, no Feos Enior decks. Nothing is fish. Hey, I like fish. I have tuna like most days for lunch. Mahu, give you the strongest around. That would be Pegasus, probably. You don't want to fight him. You don't think he's ready, Mist. Okay, well, we'll switch it around then. Moth versus Ancalagon first, and then Mist versus Zohaib. Oh no, Zohaib is ready. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. We're going back to the first one. Zohaib versus Mist Zero, then Moth versus Ancalagon. Okay. Moth showing you're not that scary. Well, if you promise Zohaib, then you guys fight Zohaib, and then Moth and Ancalagon will fight each other. Okay. I'm going to need to get like a little whiteboard or something just to write all of these things down so we can get them in order. Alright, here we go. Mist versus Zohaib. Mono mana deck. Okay, so Zohaib up top, Mist Zero down at the bottom because we started with, we spectated Mist. So, Zohaib has, what was that? 2 mutants. HP then dropped by 4 because of Mari's effect. Mist has no mutants. Interesting. Let's see. So, Zohaib is thinking about it. And drops a mana skeleton. Okay. So what's Mist going to do? Magic Missile or something like that would be my guess. Is Pegasus on? I don't know. He kind of like phases in and out. Okay. Fireball takes out skeleton. So, that means that Zohaib is leading in terms of resources, because that was a better resource trade. Pardon me for Zohaib. Pegasus want to fight, you lose the fight right away, not giving. Will-o'-the-Wisp comes out on Mist's side. Will it be countered by Magic Missile? It will be countered by Magic Missile. Okay, so down goes the missile. Both players basically just slogging away at each other. Every time one of them summons something, the other one removes it. Mist does manage to level up to 2 first, so that does give him a bit of an advantage. And the HP difference continues to grow because of that minus 6 HP to Zohaib at the beginning. Out comes a Seeker Nerva. Interesting. Standard Nerva, not a +1. Dropping out onto the field. Alright. Neon, let's reserve gimmicks for arenas. Reserve gimmicks for nothing. Don't use gimmicks. Okay, so how will... Ooh, Prowse. Ouch. That is going to hurt that Nerva. And out comes the Mana Orb. What is that, +1? -1? -1 Mana Orb. Interesting. So Prowse disappears, takes Nerva out with him. Miss Zero is crying, and I do not blame him. That Prowse. Ouch. And the Mana Orb begins to generate. So yes, the Mana Orb -1 is obviously the right Mana Orb to go for if you are going to go for a Mana Orb, because you're only interested in its ability, because its HP doesn't meet breakpoints anyway. If someone wants mono mana, you're right here. And Ancalagon, you'll be fighting Moth next. Okay, so out comes Jin. Interesting. Alright. Let's see. Role-playing Catnip, you got it to work, you can watch now. Nice. Good job. Turn to Frog comes out and hammers into Jin. That's going to be death. Mist Zero's crying again. That's really unfortunate. Both players are down to basically 0 resources at this point. But Zohaib does have that Mana Orb that's just charging up. Mist goes up to 3 and charges. I assume Zohaib will be doing the same thing. Levels up to 3, and will he charge or will he get even more aggressive? Let's see. Deus Machina Nirvana comes out. Alright, an interesting play, since the AoE effect isn't actually required right now, but he may be wanting to play it just to sort of dissuade. Yeah, because that's going to kill that dolphin. Between the Nirvana's AoE and Prowse's attack value, there we go, that poor old dolphin. down it goes. Down it goes. Pegasus and Neon want to fight. Ooh. Nice, that's going to be a good one. Okay, so Prowse takes out the Dolphin. Nirvana gets a shot off. And Mist Zero is falling a little bit behind in terms of HP, but it's still okay. Decides to charge up 3 times. Alright, so he's just building. I mean, a solid, like a meteor drop or something like that would be very cool, but I don't think Mist has one, simply because I'm pretty sure it's more expensive than Nereva, and it's not showing up further to the right. So, number 13 comes out. She's going to summon a flying sword into the middle of the field, and that is a full field flood for Zohaib. So, Miss Zero is going to have to do something pretty darn fancy in terms of AoE to get all of this nonsense off the field. He keeps charging. Okay, he's being a sportsman, and he's just, he's sort of gracefully acknowledging defeat to Zohaib. Let's see if Zohaib is going to be a sportsman and charge up 3 times. Not that he really has any choice in the matter. He can't play anything anyway. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say, yes, being a sportsman, which is always nice to see. Well done, Zohaib. That Prowse. I think that Prowse is really what turned it around. Very, very good choice for a mono-mana card. And down goes Miss Zero. Ouch. Very well played on both player sides, though, and very interesting cards. Alright, so the chat got busy. I missed most of it. I know that Pegasus and Neon sort of agreed to have a fight, which is great. Next up, you lost when Snatcher got on the field. Yeah, Prowse, that was... Nice job for delivering the mono greatness, both of you, I agree. Deadpool, yes. That was very good fights on both players' sides. But yeah, that Prowse was clutch. That was just nice Prowse. Nice Prowse. Okay, next up is Sloth Moth, or Future Moth, or Sloth Lord, or whatever one of your infinite number of usernames you're going with, versus Ancalagon. Mahu, did you miss something? You missed the first mono mana fight. Yes. Okay. Let's see. All right. So next up, yes, Moth versus Ancalagon, and then after that, I'm gonna need to actually. We'll take like a 2-minute break just so we can get everybody's fight order worked out. Because it's getting a bit confusing. I know that Neon and Pegasus are having a fight. I know that Mahu wants to fight somebody. And there was other people talking about getting fights. Zik hasn't had a fight yet. So he wants to have a fight with somebody, I assume. Then, as I say, there's a whole bunch of other people who want to have a fight. Neon, can Pegasus and you fight right after? Yes. Yes, you guys can fight right after. So Moth versus Ancalagon now. And then Neon versus Pegasus. A Prowse for this amazing match. Get out. Someone's trying to get rid of his Lurm before she gets nerfed from 1.6 million. Yeah, good luck to that person. That's not going to happen. Everybody is aware about the nerf at this point. Nobody's going to buy it for 1.6 million. Luke, you want to fight at some point? Okay, good. Pegasus is actually in a fight at the moment. Starting good. Dylan, you want to fight as well? Okay, alright. We're going to have this fight between... Oh, wait. Neon, I told you to wait, buddy. You're going to have to fight separately. We said that Moth was going to go first, remember? There we go. That's a shame. It would be nice to see the Pegasus fight. But we said... Moth versus Ancalagon first. So, mono mana fight. Love the way Pegasus plays. She leaves the opponent helpless. He leaves the opponent helpless. But yes, very well, very good plays. Okay, so the both players. Sloth already discards into the grave, which is an interesting sort of aggressive play right from the start. Forest Keeper Imp comes out, a good 1-drop mana card, which is excellent. Let's see, will Sloth answer this? I mean, a Magic Missile would take care of it, but he may decide to go a different route. Let's find out. There's a lot of mutants, actually, in Moth's deck. Good lord, I've just realized. Oh, wow, out comes Shushu. Okay, and the dead comes out onto the field as well. That is going to be a little bit difficult to deal with. Shushu doesn't normally meet HP breakpoints, but against mana spells, she does. So let's see. Okay, so Ancalagon's decided to basically just ignore that. Okay, so Shushu discarded the card, but it obviously wasn't a spell, so no extra deads. Magic Missile now comes out to take care of that Forest Keeper Imp, and that's 5 damage goes off into Ancalagon. Despite the 5 damage, Ancalagon is still in the lead in terms of HP. Once again, Shushu fails to discard a spell card, which is unfortunate for her, but the damage keeps going off, and that's always nice. Vampire Mana +1 comes out. Ouch, very unpleasant for Sloth to have to deal with. That is a lot of HP to try to chip away. And a Mana Orb. Okay, quite popular in these Mana decks. Shushu discards again, but again, no spells. That's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So, Sloth now has 5 cards in his grave, none of which apparently were spells. That is a shame. So he's thinking about it. This is a bit of a difficult situation, actually. 2 actions, so and 5 cards in the grave. So, I mean, if you revive, you're going to take a lot of damage, but if you don't revive, you don't have that many answers. With 5 cards in the grave and 1 out into the field, he only has 6 left in his hand. So let's see. Okay, a Mana Giorzera +1 comes out. A good card, actually, that Giorzera card. Mana +1. It's a solid card. I'll just pop it open for everybody who wants to see the description. And only the description. We're not looking at her picture, right, guys? Okay. Let's see. It is Ancalagon's turn. He charges up, drops down a new number 13 in front of the Giorzera, and that's going to summon the Flying Sword. The Mana Orb continues to generate mana. Giorzera's ability activates, kills the Flying Sword. So, that's quite good. Could have been a little bit better, probably, if it had been the new 13 that had died, but at least, there's no sort of Flying Sword damage coming out. Luke, what if Sloth built a spell-less Shushu deck? Well, that would be interesting. You will eat your pancake meanwhile, but call whenever. Okay, now comes the Mean Mage Lily, what is rapidly becoming Moth's signature card. For those of you who don't know, he's begun uploading a video series on the Llama Mage versus the Forces of Evil, basically, where the Mean Mage Lily goes up against gimmick decks and beats them down. So if you haven't seen that, stop by the Discord or the subreddit, and there will be links there. Okay, so Giorzera continues to kill people and summon the dead variants of them. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Sloth has any way of dealing with the dead when they're brought out onto the field. That is unfortunate. What was the effect? The boobs were blocking the screen. Sure they were, Deadpool. Sure they were. Basically, you can see what her effect is. She kills people. Okay, so out comes Firebolt. Okay, and it is immediately countered by Counterspell. That is an expensive block, though. That leaves Moth with nothing in the way of resources, rather. So Giorzera finally gets around to killing that new number 13. And before Doppelganger Trauma. That would be interesting, actually. I mean, yeah, with all those deads out onto the field. Sloth, I really hope you brought a Doppelganger Trauma. Friends list is always a problem in Mabinogi Duel gets full. Yeah, it does. It really does. What do I think about the current player base of the game? You mean the popularity, Mahood? Honestly, it seems to be more or less the same. I hear from Japanese players, and that's unfortunately game, the dead, lands a finishing blow. I hear from Japanese players that the Asian population has begun to drop a little bit. But in terms of length of time it takes when I'm waiting for games, I haven't noticed a massive difference recently. So... Volpe is the law. That did not go how you'd hoped it would, Moth. Nevertheless, interesting decks on both players' sides, good plays on both players' sides, and yeah, enjoyable. These mono-mana decks are actually turning out to be pretty good, honestly. I was expecting just sort of gimmicks, really, but no. Wish you'd planned your deck better, Moth. Nevertheless, it was a solid base. You were actually doing really well. If you'd had more spells in it to take advantage of Shushu, then I could definitely have seen you winning that. Yeah, Shim didn't have the Doppelganger Trauma. Okay, so I have a couple more messages. I've 2 gifts from Galiomir. Thank you very much. Those are going to go towards helping me get more cards, which go towards more videos. I appreciate it. Next Sunday should be Mono Nature. Yeah, maybe we'll just like run some mono stuff every time. Okay, so hold on, I just gotta erase that. There we go. It bothers me. Jorzera was avoiding the orb. Yeah, yeah, that would have given you a lot of resources all in a oneer. Saw some pretty solid nature decks. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Okay, so who's next? I said that Neon and Pegasus were going to go next, but they went too soon. So we're going to take just a very quick 2-minute break. First time beating Pegasus Neon, and you didn't do it on stream. I told you to go after Moth and Ancalagon. After. Okay. All right, we're going to take just a quick 2-minute break so that we can get the next set of fights set up. If you had a mono deck, it'd probably been an Archmage. Xerath deck, wouldn't that have been Gimmick? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Shushu discarded Xerath. Okay. Alright, so Zik wants to fight, and Zik hasn't had a fight yet. Mist wants a chance for redemption. Mahu wants to fight Pegasus. Yeah, Dragon says no proofs it didn't happen. Yeah, Pixar it didn't happen. Neon stole Pegasus's shield throw idea, which is always excellent. Miss Zero's ready for another mono mana. Okay, all right. I'm gonna start writing these down. I'm gonna get like a whiteboard and a marker. I'm gonna order one, and then we can do this properly. Right now, I'm gonna use a pad of paper. Okay. Okay. All right. So Pegasus is willing to fight Mahu. All right. So. Nobody fight yet. Wait until I say go. I'm going to write down everybody now. What kind of fights? Role-playing catnip? Anything you like. You can. Miss Zero wants to do more mono mana decks, but everybody else is just doing whatever they want. But no gimmicks. No gimmick decks. Alright, so first up, we will say Pegasus versus Mahu. Okay. Zik wants to fight. Who wants to fight Zik? Replay function still buggy? Yeah, replay function still buggy. He said go. No, nobody go yet. Alright, so yes. Let me see. Who wants to actually have a fight? Yeah, normal duels, mono duels, anything you like. Okay, yeah, Neon's asking Pegasus for permission, that's fine. Let me see. Okay, so who actually wanted to have a fight? I know Luke... Okay, so Luke wants to have a fight, provided it's not mono. Okay, so next, the fight after Pegasus and Mahu will be Lucar Cry versus Zik. Okay? Alright, that's good. I've decided. Yellow Dragon wants to play a duel that's not mono. And Future Moth has a deck he'd like to try out for a normal deck. So, Yellow Dragon versus Moth. Okay. Alexander wants to fight. Okay, so Dark Red Evil wants to have a fight. Who else wants to fight? Can't start fighting until Ark says goat. Yeah, until I say goat. Everyone wait until they say goat. Role-playing Catnip wants to fight? Okay, so Role-playing Catnip and Dark Red Evil. So, RP Catnip v Dark Red Evil. Okay. Pojechany wanted to fight you. Lucar Cry. Yeah, but you're already assigned to Zik. Okay. So, too bad. Dylan and Yellow Dragon. Yep, okay, alright. Nobody seems to be arguing with that, so let's go with Dylan v Yellow Dragon. Okay. Alright, and then Pojechany wants to fight as well. Who else is up for a normal fight? Scrolling back up a little. Kalpesh wants to fight a mana deck. So Mist also wanted one of those. Pojechany, I'm gonna sign you somewhere. I just need to find somebody who wants to have a normal fight. Kalpesh is ready for a mono mana, and Mist said that he wanted one. So let's do Mist v Calpesh, and I'll do brackets mono mana. Okay. Alright. Pojechny does want to have fight, but nobody currently is up for a normal one, so we will do this bracket. Oh, can't see. Okay, so we'll do this slot, we'll do this set, and then we will do it all over again. And Pojechny, I'm going to write your name first for the next set, and then you will have first shot at whoever wants to fight. Okay? Alright, so, nobody fight yet. Wait until I say goat. First fight is going to be Pegasus versus Remiton. Next fight is Lucarcry versus Zik. Then Yellow Dragon versus Moth. Then Role-Playing Catnip versus Dark Red Evil. Then Dylan versus Yellow Dragon. Then Mist Zero versus Calpesh in a mono mana fight. Okay? Okay. Ready, set, goat. Now we'll open this up, if it behaves. Oh, and I got a gift from Sloth. Thank you very much, Sloth. I appreciate it. 10 gems. I am rich indeed. That is going to come in very handy when Euripides comes out. Who is Zik, says Lucarcry. Yeah. Yeah, we had this last time. It's becoming a running thing, is it? Any fight for you, Neon? Not at the moment. If you want one, then I'll set you up with Pojechny for the next set. So... Okay. So the next set, not the next fight, but the next set will be Pojechny versus Neon. Who's first again? First is Pegasus versus Mahu, or Remiton. And here we go. Spectate. Alright. Okay, so let's see. Pegasus will be down at the bottom, because that's who we're spectating. Remiton up at the top. No mutants on either person's side, both playing triple resource decks, which is cool. Pegasus with an aggressive opening, and the Ambush Vine to counter, although without any damage coming out from Remiton, that elf is going to kill the Ambush Vine. And there we go. Okay, so Hunt. That's expensive, but let's see if it pays off. It certainly gives Remiton the opening damage. So first blood. Oh yes, I'll hand out your IGN right after this fight, Zik. In fact, actually, hold on. Let me see. Okay, so while I'm commentating, Zik, if you can just quickly post your exact username, and I'll just quickly copy paste it into the main chat. Okay, so out comes the Christmas Magician Must Field. Very nice. I do like the art on this. I'll open up Anna so everyone can see it. It's very, very cool. Too bad you fight with Pegasus once spectated. Yeah, it's a shame. Look at that, isn't that adorable? Okay, which is answered by Black Spirit and the Ambush Vine. Okay, Command Hunter comes out, takes out the Magician Masked Field, which is good. The Ambush Vine is going to kill the Black Spirit before the Black Spirit kills it, but and Assistant Dana is basically open for the 6 damage, but can be killed and will be killed. Okay, Zix just posted his thing. Okay, so that's Zix's username to Lucarcry. Alright, so Vampire comes out, drains a little bit of Assistant Anna's health. Notira's Needle then comes out and takes care of her, which in turn summons a Hidden Spider. A lot of stuff going on. Pegasus is playing remarkably aggressively this time around, actually. Not his usual defensive style, so this is interesting. And running a very standard deck, too. Flame Mission comes out, takes care of all the creatures on Pegasus's side of the field, and out comes the 8 damage from the little trap creatures.
Reached level 3.
Skeleton comes out as a block for the Hidden Spider. Doubtful that Remiton's going to let that block stand, though. So let's see. So the Resurrection happens, and because of Pegasus's hero's ability, he takes a little bit of damage off that. A discard into nature, And yeah, as I thought, here comes the hunt. So both players playing very, very aggressively. Very, very aggressively. And now Pegasus is in a lot of trouble. He needs to shut down both of those creatures in order to survive this. If he manages to, then he's in a very solid position because he's got a very strong resource lead and can definitely turn this around. Hidden Spider versus Hidden Swamp Spider, which is better. They're both basically the same. And Vampire comes out to drain the resources. Okay, so solid. There's nothing that Remington can do to remove that Vampire. Unless he wants to cast Drag to Hell, but that will take care of his own Hidden Spider. So he's charging. The Swamp one can die to no Tira, but yeah. I mean, really, it doesn't really make any difference which one you summon. They're both very weak to removal. Alright, so Remington is thinking, but then decides to charge up again. Thinking. It is a bit tricky now. He's running a little bit low on resources, but also doesn't want to let this damage come through. If Pegasus decides to be aggressive again, he could cause some significant trouble. But I think he's deciding to go for the more defensive play, build up his resources. Yep. He now has the resource advantage. There we go. So it's to his advantage, now that he has both resource and battlefield advantage, to maintain that as well as possible. So at this point, it looks like the game has switched paces. And you'll notice this a lot with veteran players. They will start out playing, say, aggressive, and then they will switch to tempo, or they'll start control and then switch to aggro. Good players are excellent at sort of perceiving the pace of a fight and adjusting their own pace accordingly. So Remington is going for full-on defensive charging right now, trying to gain a resource advantage over Pegasus. Yep, okay, so full triple charge. He's going to let that 14 damage go through. He's probably trying to bait out another creature from Pegasus before he uses his... before he uses his flame emission. So Pegasus revives, and that was an expensive revive. Very, very painful. He's well within range of any creature's fatal, and a couple of arrows of revenge will do it too. Nevertheless, he did cause a little bit of damage to Remington. Out comes the betrayal. Yeah, and there we go. That's the finishing blow right there. Very close fight. And it's a shame that Pegasus revived there, because the betrayal would not have killed otherwise. Very, very close. Very, very close. Right, it was like right down to the wire there. It really was. So very good fight on both players' sides, and an excellent example of how veteran players will adjust their pacing based on what's happening. And a very unusually aggressive opening plays from Pegasus there. We generally see him play very, very defensively, but you had Arrow Mate, did you? Yeah, well, we kind of assumed with Darkness. So yes, but yes, yeah, interesting plays, good decks, nice to see. And of course, everyone's very jealous about the Masked Magician Christmas skin. Everybody loves the Christmas skins, they're so nice. Okay, so very good, very good. I will just make a little check mark there, and a circle around Remington. Pegasus didn't look like you playing. It really didn't. That did not look like a Pegasus game. Interesting. Different, trying different style. Mahu, sign you up for another round. We'll do that after the next set. The next set is Lucarcry versus Zik, or the next fight is Lucarcry versus Zik. Wow, a lot of people fighting. Magicina is your bay, is it? Yes, Lucarcry versus Zik. Okay. Monomana and Caligon. You can challenge people, sure. We're not in the second set yet. Okay, send the duel request. Good. A lot of people fighting, actually. Look at that. Neon's fighting, Twilight's fighting, Infamous is fighting, A Person, Pegaminas, Zohaib, Zerathil. A lot of people fighting. Alright, we'll just wait for... There we are. Lucarcry versus Zik. Spectate. Okay, so Lucarcry will be at the bottom, Zik will be at the top. Typo. I quite like Magicina, actually. Turns out he's on the toilet and his little brother was playing. He's playing with his toes. Okay, so Luke at the bottom, using one mutant it looks like, and the Noah's ability, there we go, drops it by 4. 1 mutant on Zig's side as well. Creature summoned, immediately murdered, and out comes the Book of Knowledge. You like to use Vampire in latest meta, do you, Pojechny? Well, the normal Vampire. Yeah, it's always good. And out comes the Flying Sword. Missed. Ever thought of doing a stream with the screen sideways? I'm pretty sure the sideways screen only works for replays. I don't think you can do live with it. I may be wrong about that. I don't like it very much anyway. Why? Do you not like seeing my face? Flying Sword comes out anyway and deals a decent amount of damage. Everybody's sort of playing a little bit defensively. Lucarcry removes that with the Magic Missile, giving himself a nice little boost there to experience. You think the screen setup is cool as it is? Yes, Deadpool understands the sexy. Zig discards a card into the grave. Okay, let's see. Never seen Pegasus that aggressive. Okay, new number 13 comes out, a staple currently, and out comes its Flying Sword. Alright, so how will Luke decide to answer this? You can play portrait. I think you mean landscape. This is portrait. You can only do it when in the main menu. No. One for Arcadean's face you wouldn't be watching right now. Thank you, Deadpool. My new favorite person. Everyone, take lessons. Oh, ouch, and there's the Interfectum Malus, which, you know, you kind of expect when you see somebody discarding into light. Alright, so, let's see. Lucarcry's not maintaining... Lucarcry's sort of losing in terms of aggressive board presence, in terms of creatures and that kind of thing, but his resources are distributed slightly better, which gives him more answers than Zik, who's struggling with the mana and light. Although that golden citizen is going to help with the light problem. Mahu, you want to fight me? You want to stream snipe? I generally don't do my own personal fights on this stream, simply because the phone that I'm using overheats like crazy. We've had to actually stop streams in the past because I couldn't even spectate fights, and when I actually do fights myself, it overheats even more. It tends to just sort of shut down, unfortunately. Okay, capture to grab the number 13. That's expensive, but if it can remain alive, that could turn out to be useful for Lucarcry, especially with 2 Flying Swords out onto the field. So let's see. That was an expensive play, but we'll see if Zik has a solid answer for it. Sophocles, nice, very nice. Okay, so Sophocles comes out, the level up's about to happen, and number 13 is about to die. Okay, or no, the level up's going to happen next time, and number 13 is about to die. It's unfortunate that the Sophocles didn't come out sort of immediately, and then the level up happened, because this does allow number 13 to summon another Flying Sword. If the screen was sideways and I could put my head on the opposing hero slot, so every fight would be like fighting me. Yeah, well, why not? What's the point in having a green screen, right? Unless you can have some fun with it. Oh, and the seal ability comes out with the mind control. Very nice, very nice. Ouch, ouch. Oh, and it does not. Yeah, her ability sealed. Yeah, of course it is. So yeah, interesting. See one from one versus the stream. Yeah, I will technically be fighting everybody. All right. Now this will be interesting to see how this fight now goes. Sophocles is just kind of bouncing into number 13. Both players have kind of used strong cards of theirs. Seigi was shut down by the Interfectum. The capture was brought over, but then number 13 was sealed. Sophocles was brought out to seal the number 13, and then was in turn sealed. It's fantastic. Kind of funny question. Have you ever felt this sense of rivalry while dueling someone? If you don't know the duelist, would you tell me duel that person feel like meeting a long-term rival? I think most competitive people do feel that way, Galliumir. Yeah. I mean, it is a competitive game. You don't have to take it competitively, but it is a competitive game. So, Lucarii is in a little bit of trouble in terms of HP. If he doesn't sort of kill that flying sword or the Sophocles, then Zik basically has fatal. Because Zik has enough resources now to remove that number 13, regardless of what he uses. Even a surprise attack at this point will work. And if both of those guys get their attacks through, then dead. Okay, well now even if one of them gets their attacks through, then Lucacri's in a lot of trouble. Discard into Grave, trying to save up for what, an Ice Spear? No, just a Magic Missile. Counterspelled anyway. Wouldn't have worked, really, regardless. And now Zik has Fatal. So will he be sportsmanlike and just charge up 3 times? Looks like he will. Charge, charge. And one more. There we go. A very sportsmanlike finish by Zik. Excellent. Taki, grounded up, blah, 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 whatever the sword says. Very good fight on both players' sides. Very interestingly done. And hey, Sophocles. Always nice to see Sophocles. And Mind Control on Lucacri's side. Also nice to see that card. I do enjoy both those cards very much. Is the stream viewing it late? And Caligon, you mean is there lag? I don't know. It shouldn't be. I hope not. My numbers are all showing green. Anyway, yes, very good fight on both player sides. Very well done. Okay, so Lucarii versus Zik. Finished. Next up, Yellow Dragon versus Moth. You misplayed a little bit. Zohib, did you? I don't know. Oh, you were fighting Pojechny. I see. I see. Okay, so yes. Yellow Dragon versus Moth. It's a shame the card you wanted to use didn't come into play. Which card were you, did you want to use, Lucarii? There we are, the Sloth, yes, there we go. Good, okay. And then after Sloth and Yellow Dragon, it's Role-Playing Catnip versus Dark Red Evil. So you guys get ready for after this fight. Just put some live skill on the exact time. In the thingy. Yeah. I don't actually sort of watch my own streams. I don't even know what the buttons are. Okay, let's see. Mage Jax. Wouldn't that be nice? Yes. Well, Luke, you said... Oh, right, yeah. You said you were going to bring Jax, didn't you? Yeah. And then you didn't get to even bring him out. That's absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. Okay. Using a deck you haven't tested much? That's fine. These fights aren't really about who wins and who loses anyway. It's about showing fun decks, interesting decks, different play styles. I mean, anybody can run sort of a, you know, top-tier meta deck and have a good shot at winning. The game is skill-based to a certain extent, but, you know, once you've got the fundamentals, anybody can beat anybody. So let's see. It's all about having fun. Let's see. Yellow Dragon versus Sloth. Alright, so no mutants on Yellow's side, 1 mutant on Sloth's, and he summons the Leopard. Okay. An interesting 1-drop creature blocked by the Elf, who is simply a superior 1-drop creature, which is a problem. Everybody goes for the Elf. And I'm not, you know, getting on Yellow Dragon's case here. I'm just saying that DevCat needs to bring out more viable 1-drop creatures. Okay, so Sloth discards into Nature, so that'll be, you know, Ambush Vine, Hidden Spider, potentially Cocoon Trap. Although Cocoon Trap at level 1 is always fairly interesting, but if he sees the mana and anticipates a number 13, then, you know, the Cocoon Trap might be for that case. You're testing 2, are you, Yellow Dragon? Okay, good, so you have 2 people doing 2 tests. Always nice. You want to see people running interesting decks, fun decks, decks that, you know, don't just pack your lure-ins and gimmicks and things into there, because, meh. Why not hunt and level up next turn? Might be wanting to maintain resource parity. Ooh, just a little bit off, but that will ensure that the leopard kills if Yellow Dragon leveled up, which Yellow Dragon did. Okay, so interesting. Sloth levels up, and because the leopard kills the elf, that does give Sloth a nice little boost to XP. Let's see. Out comes the Holy Missile, takes care of the leopard. And what's next? Probably a Black Spirit. Oh, a Black Spirit which got caught by the Cocoon Trap. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. If it had been a number 13, that would have been fantastic. But there it goes. Now he's going to play an extra card or charge before level, and his partner's going to die to Elf. But as you see, he didn't. There we go. Okay. I mean, everybody has their own playstyle. Some people really like to stick to resource parity. And, I mean, if that's the way you play and that works out well for you, that's the way to go. It works out for a lot of people. Okay, out comes the Flying Sword. The Interfectum Malus comes out and kills it immediately. Okay, so a bit of an expensive counter to the Flying Sword. Nevertheless, you know, it got the creature immediately off the field. So that's something. Out comes number 13. Now that's what Sloth was aiming for with the Interfectum and the Cocoon Trap. But Yellow Dragon apparently anticipated that, brought out bait cards first. Nevertheless, it does put Yellow Dragon into a fairly low position in terms of resources. No mana left, and only 4 nature and 5 light, compared to Sloth's 2, 6, and 4. So, yeah... it's a trap, cries Pegasus. How long do I stream on average? Most live streams last between 2 and 3 hours from 3 p.m. GMT. But I also do occasionally stream in the evenings on Twitch only. And those can last like anywhere from half an hour to like 4 hours. It depends on what I'm playing and who's playing with me. Next week Mass Effect Andromeda comes out, so it's going to be a lot of live streams on that. Alright, so the Growth Vine. Growth Vine at level 2, always interesting. You never want to play that less than level 2, but it does put your opponent into an awkward position, especially if they are low on resources, because they're forced to charge and build up your Growth Vine, or they're forced to discard cards instead to gain resources, and that obviously has its own problems as well. With no monsters on the field, you summon Dark Magician and declare a direct attack for game. You say that, Miss Zero, and my immediate reaction is, oh no, yeah, that makes sense. Because I was playing Duel Links all morning. It's very confusing to me. Okay, so Sloth charges. Now, if he charges up one more time, he can kill the Flying Sword, but he sacrifices a level up. And he chose to charge up once more to get the Flying Sword. That was probably the best choice, honestly. Okay, so Nata manages to build up. That's going to... Okay, so Segi comes out as a counter to the Growth Vine. Oh, that's Segi. The only problem with grave cards is that they are so predictable. They kind of are. It is a problem that you know what your opponent is discarding and you know what resource they're getting from it, you know. I kind of wish that you could have custom modes in this game, and one of the modes would be that you cannot see your opponent's resources. That would be really interesting. You can't, you like that you can't decide to trigger them, your opponent having the option to trigger them to his favor. Yeah, it's good that your opponent can lure stuff out. And it definitely works for the main game. But I think it would be really interesting to see a game mode, not have it like be a general mechanic, but just a game mode where you could specify things like cannot see opponent's resources, because that would turn trap cards into really, really sneaky cards, you know. You would know that your opponent discarded something, but you would have no idea what color he discarded, so you wouldn't know what trap to anticipate. Flame Emission comes out, deals with the Segi and the Nata in one fell swoop, very nice. But at this point Yellow Dragon has managed to build up a good amount of resources. Which is Why do you have 30 alpacas, Lukaku? Because they like you. Obviously you smell like their mommy. You need to sort your cards. Yeah. Okay, so Flying Sword comes out and is hit by the Interfectum Malus. Down goes that Flying Sword. Well, sealed the Flying Sword, which is actually a bad thing because the Flying Sword drops its own attack damage. So the Interfectum actually is kind of benefits the Flying Sword. You don't really like Duel Links. It's restarting from your good 10 in real life deck. I like Duel Links because it doesn't have the XYZ, pendulum, all this nonsense. They're actually really good at balancing the cards they bring out into the game, which is nice. You agree with me, Luke. Thank you. That's always nice to have. You're uploading the game mode ID on the official Mabinogi Duel forums. Don't want to give credit. Okay, thanks, missed. I don't mind. You can take credit. Okay, Shurka. Or immediately, Moth's deck becomes my favorite deck now. I am now rooting against Yellow Dragon. All of my impartiality is gone. Go Moth, beat Yellow Dragon. Warlords, warlords, warlords. Oh. It does unfortunately seem like it's just a little bit too late because there's now you've got to take care of both the Ultutmish and the Flying Sword. So yeah, unfortunately, Yellow Dragon has more than enough resources for a hunt. So all he's going to have to do is remove that Growth Vine and he wins. What's in that red juice? It is the source of all my powers, and thus it is a secret. I say nonsense. You say winning with strategy, Rob. Winning with strategy, really? When you can just create a mill deck where if I go first, I win. There's no strategy. Ice Spear, blood of my enemies. Yep, could be blood of my enemies mixed with the tears of their widows. Well played, Sloth. Well played, Yellow Dragon. Unfortunately, the anticipated removal did knock out the creatures that were needed to, and gave Yellow Dragon the finish blow. Nevertheless, in my mind, Moth was the real winner there because he used Warlords. Am I British? Kind of. I mean, I was born in Scotland, but I moved to a desert island when I was 8 weeks old, and I've lived in other countries around the world more than I've lived in Britain, so I don't know, you tell me. It's the most metal thing you've ever heard. Neon, can you have a fight now before you sleep? No, you already had fights, and we're on a schedule now. You haven't figured out what the right timing is for the war. It's very difficult. They're my favorite cards, but I'm the first person to say that they're not really meta viable at the moment. I have a lot of fun with them. I can get them into platinum, but it's rough. Looks like cranberry juice or Ribena if it's popular over there. Could be. Red Bull. Be bouncing off the walls. Next up is role-playing Catnip versus Dark Red Evil, if you guys are around. And then after them is Dylan versus Yellow Dragon. I didn't realize I'd written down Yellow Dragon twice. Maybe we can replace Yellow Dragon with Neon. If Yellow Dragon doesn't mind giving up his fight against Dylan, then Neon, you can fight Dylan instead of Yellow Dragon. A sneaky bicky like. A sneaky bicky is when you steal somebody's digestive. You weren't listed there. Yeah, you weren't listed on the sheet, but you weren't had like 4 fights on stream or something. Anyway, I mean, as I say, if Yellow Dragon doesn't mind giving up his second fight against Dylan, then you can fight Dylan instead. So I'll just make a little note here. I didn't realize I'd written down Yellow Dragon twice. There we go. Okay, Dylan doesn't mind. Okay, good. So we'll have this fight is between RP Catnip and Dark Red Evil, and then the second fight, the fight after that, will be Dylan versus Neon. Excellent. Good. So Yellow Dragon and Dylan are both being very pleasant about it, which is lovely. Alright, so role-playing Catnip versus Dark Red Evil. Okay. New 13 gets nerfed in the next patch. New swords are black. Yeah, she doesn't get a nerf, but her ability to summon all the new swords kind of nerfs her, yeah. Yep. You need to be able to make a 4 colors deck. Why stop at 4? 5 color deck. Rainbow deck. Let's see. 1 blue sword attacker. Yeah, the spirit of the sword. Yeah. Well, it attacks her if there is nobody of a higher HP value on the field. It might, it doesn't necessarily attack her, but can I go first next iteration though, since stream is later? Yeah, well, not first for the next set, because first for the next set is already Projectiony versus... Oh, it's actually Projectiony versus Neon, so yeah, we'll switch Neon out for you to Yellow Dragon, since Neon's got to go for two Sleepy Bites. Double rainbow deck. It would be nice if, again, you could have a mode where you could have a rainbow deck. Could a special mechanic for, you know, Gay Pride Day or something like that. That would be awesome. Okay, so we've got okay, so RP Catnip, who shall do up at the top versus Dark Red Evil down at the bottom. My mind is going. Okay, so already we're seeing some interesting plays here. Beastkin Jones is coming out onto the field, which is just okay. Okay. Missed, yeah. Everyone's flipping their shit over. Yeah. Yeah. Lei, what changes are coming for Paralyzer? Allure, and she costs 1 more at every level, and she paralyzes for 2 turns at levels 1 and 2 now. Okay, we're seeing Mage Marie coming out. Alright, so we've got a Beastkin Jones and a Mage Marie. Already, I am having so much fun. These are cards you just don't see much, and I do enjoy them. So let's see. Beastkin Jones out on the field, which is... interesting, because he's not going to transform, as far as I'm aware, until something else transforms. But there is nature on Shodu's side, and that could lead to a bestial fruit. Let's find out. Elephant comes down in front of the Jones, and Mage Marie is going to activate her ability next turn unless she is stopped. Ooh, capture. Nice. And there goes Beastkin David. Yay, David. My namesake. Okay, Jones continues to hammer away into the elephant and heals up his own health. Turn to Frog comes out to deal with Jones, which is, yep, probably the right choice. Although, oh, and then out comes the ambush to take care of the other two. Very nice, very nice. Huge resource drain, but because Dark Blade Evil is using 3-color camp, he's actually managing to outpace Shodu in terms of resources. So Shodu's got to kind of finish this quickly before Dark Blade Evil just manages to build up sort of an infinite amount of resources almost. Another Mage Marie comes out. Fantastic. A Dark Mage Marie this time. Excellent, excellent. Beastmaster Klaus is more likely in your opinion, Lukaku, right? Yeah, Beastmaster Klaus is also a possibility, absolutely. Already I am having so much fun. Allure -1 doesn't kill. Yeah, Allure -1 will never kill at any level. Okay, out comes an Imp. Very, very aggressive plays on Dark Red Evil. He's really trying to hammer home his advantage right now, which is good against a double color deck. Discard into light, building up towards an ambush, maybe? Pardon me. Building up towards an Obi. Interesting choice. Okay. Not stopping that last word coming out, though. That's going to cause some problems. Bingo, bango. Wow. Like, oh, wow. Everything just went into that Obi. Not that it would have made any difference anyway, because the elf would have gone down and then the Obi would have taken it anyway. But just, ouch. That was painful. That was painful. Anyway, they could allow 4 and 5 colored decks. 5 colors simply make it start off with 0 and everything. Don't get any resources during level up. Yeah. And for 4 colors, they don't only 1 turn. Yeah. I mean, they could absolutely. There's 1 0 that shouldn't be there, but yeah. Other than that, yeah, it's decent. Okay, so Dark Red Evil. A lot of these little chip damage creatures pulverizing into Shodu. Out comes an Albi. Very interesting to see. And nothing. Okay, so turn to Frog. Dark Red Evil is not being very sportsmanlike. You have Fatal on the board. Just charge. Come on. Shodu, although Shodu, on the other hand, being very sportsmanlike. Squee, you're awesome. It's always nice. And some more charging up. Down goes that poor little frog. That was unnecessary. And Mage Marie lands a finishing blow, which is always cool because just nobody runs Mage Marie. It's excellent. It's lovely. So very interesting deck on both players' sides. I mean, a Beastkin deck on Shodu's side and a Marie deck on Dark Red Evil. Excellent. Very, very cool. Marie, your favorite card before Cheshire was released. Moth, yeah. Beast deck is very cool. if you go with the list, no, if you're going with the list, the next up is Dylan versus Neon, and then Mist versus Kalpesh with a mono mana deck. Okay. He takes the evil in his name very serious. Yeah. Maria's like Ash and Dusty's stepsister. Yeah. Okay. Which of the upcoming boosters should you buy? And how often do such events occur? Should you save gems for the next updates? Yeah, save your gems right now. They're going to be releasing the first CGC booster pack sometime around the 28th of March. So save up your gems for that. There's some good cards in there. Yeah, no, next up is Dylan versus Neon. And then after that it's Mist versus Kalpesh. And then after that it's Pojechny versus Yellow, because Neon apparently has to go to sleep. Something you think lacking in this game is Archetypes deck. Yeah, they keep trying to make them, but they just don't seem to be able to. They tried it with Witch and Beast. They tried to make Witch archetype decks and Beast archetype decks, but just nobody was really interested because they didn't really synergize too well. Catnip wants a rematch. Okay. Archetypes are easy to count. They can be. The game, I mean, Mabinogi Duel doesn't have archetype decks. In terms of sort of like, you know, Witch archetype or Beast archetype or anything like this. Because of the way the game is structured, most people will pick one super powerful card, and then they'll just kind of build around that, which is what you see with Allurin, Light Elf Hero Trace +1, Zombie Synthesis -1, and all this kind of stuff. Back in the day, I had a great brother-sister combo with Mage Miro and Dark Maria. That sounds like fun. Anybody wants to buy Illurin -1 light? No, Lay. Nobody's going to want to buy that, unfortunately. The nerf makes it useless. It's a shame, because like 2 weeks ago, you could have sold that for millions. You like there are no archetypes, Deadpool? I like that there are no the game is not dominated by archetypes, but it would be nice to see archetypes being viable rather than what it is currently, which is one card and then you build the deck around it, or you go with like a chip damage deck, in which case you just get a lot of like elves and elephants and skeletons and skeleton knight and maybe a magician masked field thrown in there. It would be nice to look at somebody's deck and go, aha, I know what they're doing, rather than what we've got, which is, aha, I know what they're doing, it's a gimmick deck, I don't have the counter for that, I might as well quit. Fine, now Neon, there we go, good. Yep, Neon versus Dylan, good, okay.
Magicians and summoners, the duel will start now.
Okay, excellent. Alright, so we have Shukyakuro, Dylan basically up at the top, and Neon down the bottom, and already we get to see an alpaca. Fantastic. So, mutants on both sides. Mana, light and dark, and gold, mana and nature. Fene up with Dylan, and Elysis down with Neon. Interesting. So, alpaca versus, and the black sheep pan. So basically it's a farmyard deck. I like it. I'm a country boy at heart. And now comes the Albi, which we are seeing a fair amount of today, which is quite interesting. Generally considered a PvG only card. Nevertheless, a lot of people putting it in their decks right now. Interesting. Alpaca OP. Look at that face. I mean, the face of the alpaca is a terrifying thing. It is the face of an animal who just has no more shits to give. Alright, so the Albi is still out onto the field and will do a significant amount. Oh, it's a shield throw deck. This is what Neon was talking about earlier when he was talking about stealing Pegasus's shield throw idea. If anybody hasn't seen Pegasus's videos, or Neon's for that matter, go to their relevant YouTube channels and check them out. Very interesting decks there for both players. But yes, Pegasus kind of made a bit of a splash a few days ago by creating a shield throw deck that ended up doing like 50 damage to some poor guy's red dragon. It was quite tragic. Ambush to take care of the Albi. Very, very expensive removal play, but Dylan was obviously quite worried about that ability activating. So let's see.
Charged
I was seriously fun. What was seriously funny? Oh, the face of an yeah. Is Sophocles worth buying in SIH boosters? He looks strong. I like him. If you're not an advanced player and you don't like advanced play styles, don't pick him up. But if you like playing tricky and you like playing kind of control and shutdown decks, then yeah, pick up Sophocles. You have a 6% chance to pull him in every booster pack, which is pretty decent. And for the right kind of player, he's actually very powerful. I know a couple of people have kind of fallen in love with him a little bit. Look, Sophocles is going to get nerfed sometime soon. I really don't think he will. He's one of those cards that's very powerful, but he's not simple and he's not easy. So the meta has in general, has no real interest in him. The meta will always gravitate towards what is most simple, most consistent, and most easy to ladder with. And that's what tends to get nerfed. Sophocles is none of those things. Very, very strong, but difficult to use. You can't sort of no-brain your way up the ladder with him. So he's not going to be on the chopping block. So out comes a mean mage Lily. Unfortunately, Pan and the alpacas are all dead, which is extremely tragic. The hunt comes out. Somebody's hunted. Somebody's killed all the farmyard animals, and now Mage Marie mean mage Marie is being hunted. Poor girl.